Are you tired of scrolling on LinkedIn, seeing a whole bunch of jobs, 100 plus applicants, and feeling like you're not making any progress? Well, if that's you, I'm here to give you the tea. Hi, I'm Jessica. I was an educator for 11 years after transitioning out the classroom. This is currently my third year out the classroom. Different ways that you can stand out in this job market if you are a teacher who's transitioning into EdTech. Let's get into it. Identify the skills that make you stand out. So that looks like doing a skills inventory. If you were an educator or a coach or a principal for years, there are many different skill sets you amass while being in a classroom. And so those skills are going to be what's the blueprint to knowing what's your best role as you transition out of the classroom. So I know that for me, I was a special educator, so I had experience in special education. I had experience being a grade team leader. I had experience of being a program coordinator as well. So all these different experiences helped me help sort out the skills and the roles that I was looking at. So being well versed in special education helped me as I was transitioning into being a professional learning consultant, because I was able to tailor the curriculum to special populations and help teachers modify the curriculum. But also knowing how to relationship build, knowing how to manage relationships and managing projects also helped me become a great school partnership manager. So I want you to think about what are some of your sought after skills? Right? What are some of those skills that you have that are going to be in demand and consider getting certifications for upskilling? So during the transitions, there's always going to be something that you need to know. There's always going to be a gap that you might need to close in order to better understand the role and better market yourself. So certifications are a great way for you to close that gap. So for me, I did some LinkedIn courses, but when I think about actual certifications, I have my certification as like a classroom teacher, as a special education teacher in New York State. I also have a certification from Course Careers, technology sales, which helped me with educational sales. So my first certification helped me with my first job outside the classroom because I worked as a professional learning consultant and I also worked as an instructional coach. So having experience with special populations, with knowing curriculums for 1 through 6 was able to help me in that role. But my certification in tech sales helped me in my educational sales position as a partnership manager because I understood the sales cycle. I understood like how to build a pipeline, how to manage those relationships. So I say to say those are certifications that made sense for me and the roles that I was looking at. And so I want you to be strategic because while certifications are nice to have, they're not always necessary, and sometimes different jobs might pay for you to get upskilled or to get into certification. So just want to be strategic so that you're not spending more money than what you need, right?
These are some certifications you might want to invest in. Feel free to pause. Any sales jobs require that you understand HubSpot or Salesforce, so this is always a great best bet. I invested in Course Careers myself. These are certifications for customer success. Again, these are industry standard. So this could help you either as a customer success manager or as an implementation specialist. So this would help you with managing clients, but also helping with onboarding and projects. Instructional design and learning experience design do require more technical expertise. So you would need to understand how to use Adobe Articulate, Storyline, things of that nature. And you'd also need to understand how to work with talent as you're onboarding. So those are more technical certifications as well.
If you are a teacher who has different questions, you have either sifted through my different videos to answer your different questions about the career pivot process, or you still feel like you have questions, I urge you to check out two resources that I have below. I have a freebie called the roadmap to transition out the classroom. So it gives you a different checklist of different steps you can take to really position yourself to transition outside the classroom. And I also have an ebook that I created. It's called the Teacher Exit Plan. It tells you about the different things that you want to consider as you are prepping yourself to transition out the classroom. Things like having a contingency plan, things such as like different job tips. So be sure to check them out. Optimize your LinkedIn. Can we be real for a second? Like, just let's be honest. How does your LinkedIn look like? Does it look like a spam page? Do you have a profile picture? Is your high school the last piece of education that you have on your profile? If any of those things apply to you, I need you to optimize your LinkedIn. So the last 2 roles that I've received were because of my LinkedIn, right? And I often and regularly get DMs from different recruiters because of my LinkedIn, and it's because it's optimized. So gone are the days where we're just saying, oh, I'm not a LinkedIn person, I don't know what to do. You're going to optimize your LinkedIn because it is going to be one of the best ways to really market yourself to recruiters, and also like market yourself and position yourself with people who are in roles that you want to use your LinkedIn to market the jobs that your current job experience, highlighting the keywords that might be in the role that you want. Network, post something, comment, repost that people can see like your thought leadership and see like where your head is at. But also use those connections. Use the connections to get advice on like where you want to go. Don't underestimate people's desire to want to help you. Many people have been there. Many people in the EdTech space had been in a place where like they were fighting to get like listened to, fighting to get interviews, and so often these are some of the people who want to help. So, apply to roles. Position yourself for roles that you have hard skills in. So when I say hard skills, these are the technical skills that you have. So I was a special education teacher, right? So it would make sense that I would apply to special education instructional coaching roles because I have the hard skill of understanding special education, understanding how to differentiate, etc. What are some of the things that you have hard skills in? If you were an instructional coach, you have experience in coaching and backwards planning and leading teams. If you're a principal, you have experience in like leading school leadership, building leadership, and budgeting, right? And project management. Like those are like hard skills that you have. And so I say that to say that often when we are applying, a lot of us are getting disappointed because we think we might be a good fit, right? But recruiters don't have a time to figure out who might be a good fit. Like it can't be aspirational expertise, it needs to be actual expertise. And so those hard skills let you know if you actually have the skills. And so this is not to say that in the future you won't qualify for these roles. This is not to say that in the future this might not be a role that you get, but like right now, as you make the pivot, you need to make it super clear to them that you know how to do the job. Because what the recruiters don't want to happen is they don't want to hire someone who's ill-equipped for the job, and then a couple months later they are interviewing for the same role again. They don't want that. They don't want to get someone who needs so much training and coaching that they should have just hired someone else. That's what they don't want. So your hard skills allows the recruiters to know if this is a job that you can do. Yes, there's always a natural learning curve, but the curve can be so wide that it just becomes untenable for like the recruiters and like the onboarding team. So I know this is not an easy process. I was in it. Okay, it's not an easy process. It's tough because sometimes it feels like, well, can someone just give me a chance? But the reality is there are different things that we can do to stand out. You will reach a point where like people are reaching out to you, people are DMing you for roles, and you'll be telling them, hey, this is not what I'm looking for, right? Like you will get to that point. But pivots are difficult because you have to start somewhere, and that somewhere will start, but we also have to be strategic, right? So I hope that these tips help you be strategic. If there's something that you want me to elaborate on, or you want me to make another video on, please comment that down below. Please check out my Pivoting Out the Classroom roadmap, but also my teacher exit plan ebook as well, so that you can get all the tea on how to make that pivot. If you're someone who's just looking to have a conversation about this process, whether you want resume help, you are having difficulty wording certain things, whether you just don't know which websites make most sense, like you're not sure like what roles you're most qualified for, or just any things of that nature, feel free to call me as well. We'll be opening up my calendar so that I can take some of those calls, but it's not impossible. Many teachers have transitioned out. I've spoken like in this field, like you have access to so many like veteran teachers and former educators, and so my experience shows me that this is possible, and it's just all about being strategic. All right. So be sure to check out my resources. If you stay to the end, be sure to subscribe, and catch you next time.